I'm going to teach you a tool, what you can do to combat your fear. This is what I did when I was going to go hike across the country. So now you guys, now imagine I've started this company, I have employees, I have, you know, things that I have to manage, a house, all that stuff. And I go to the CEOs of my companies and I go to my family and I'm like, hey guys, I'm gonna go hike across the country by myself, right? What do you think that their reaction was? Like, oh my gosh, are you nuts, right? And I had to think about that. I was like, yeah, maybe, okay, all right, maybe a little bit, okay? So here's what I did. I said, okay, you guys, I hear your concerns and I'm also afraid. So don't get me wrong, you guys. Don't sit there and tell me that I was brave. I was not brave. I was scared so bad, so bad. I had never done anything like this before in my life. And there are voices in my head that told me that I was not good enough, that I was never gonna make it. Who was I to think that I could go do this? There were so many logistical concerns right now. How many of you are experiencing this right now? This is the other side of fear. So fear tells you the worst possible scenario and you believe it. But then even if you say, I'm gonna address that fear, the next thing that fear will tell you is you're not good enough anyway. You're not smart enough to figure it out. You're never gonna make it. And fear will also tell you that this is permanent, that whatever is gonna happen forever, right? None of that is true. So here's how you fix it. If you have a piece of paper, what I want you to do is just draw a straight line down the middle of it. Can you see that? So then you're just drawing a straight line. And on one side, I want you to write the word fear. I know this might be a little backwards, but you know, that says fear. On the other side of that line, I want you to write the word solution. Okay? So you have two columns, fear, solution. If fear tells you the worst possible scenario and you believe it, then you know that if you solve for it, you can solve from everything from here to there too, right? So what I did when I went to go do my hike is I wrote down everything that I was afraid of. And then I went and I interviewed all my family and friends and my companies and I said, hey guys, will you help me fill out my list? And let me tell you, they were more than happy to tell me what I should be afraid of, right? You guys, this is why community is so, so important. That's what this family is here today. That is what you have people in your life. If you need help thinking through these things, reach out to me. I would be more than happy to help you with your fear sheet. But you just write down all of the things that you're afraid of, you guys. This might be, I'm afraid of getting sick. I'm afraid to go to the grocery store. I'm afraid that I'm not going to have a paycheck next time. I'm not going to be able to pay my rent. That looks like, I'm afraid that maybe I'm a mom and I don't know how to homeschool my kids. I don't know how I'm going to deal with being at home and I've got kids crawling all over me, the cat walking across the freaking keyboard. I've got my husband in my face. I've got, you know, this, and I'm not taking care of myself and I haven't been outside and da, 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 da. Oh, and I'm eating my emotions too, right? So write down everything, everything, just brain dump. Don't solve for it. All you're doing is you're just getting it out of your brain and onto paper, because this is what fear is trying to do, is it's trying to actually teach you, I want you to be afraid of this because I'm trying to protect you. Do you see that? Your emotions are designed to help you, give you information. So they're saying, hey, dude, you haven't solved for this thing. You need to be afraid of this. Have you thought of this? Well, have you thought about this thing? And what about this thing, right? So it's actually a good thing. It's helping you be smart, but it's just so loud and it's irrational. So you're just going to write it down so that it gets out of your head, because you're tricking your brain here a little bit. You're tricking your brain to say, okay, I've thought about it. I've addressed it. Do you see me writing it down on my piece of paper? You can hush now just a little bit so that I can think, right? Once you do that, you guys, you need to breathe again. Because I guarantee you, the second you thought about what you were writing down, how many of you thought about even writing down your fears and you stopped breathing? You forgot to breathe, okay? Breathe again. Then what I want you to do is grab your community and help you start to solve those things. And this is why you need to breathe. This is why you need blood in your brain, because you need to be smart. And you're all capable of doing this. You are capable of solving for every one of those things. And once you have the solution, you guys, then it's just a choice.